So as we all know, it's been announced that Jake Paul is set to fight Tommy Fury on February 26th in Saudi Arabia. I mean, hopefully it actually gets to happen this time. So if you didn't know, this fight has been built up for almost 2 years now, from call-outs, back and forths, pull-outs, etc. Originally, Jake was going to fight Tommy in December of 2021, but Tommy pulled out due to him having a broken rib. So instead, Jake fought Tyron Woodley in a rematch, and we all know how that went.
He has done it from time to time, just as...
Obviously, Jake tried to get the Tommy fight a second time for August of 2022. However, before they had their press conferences, Tommy couldn't travel to America due to having some legal issues and such. So that fight eventually got cancelled again. Now, for the third time, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury are scheduled to fight later this month on February 26th. But we will see if that actually happens, am I right? During the build-up of this fight, these past few weeks, everyone has been leaning towards Jake Paul to beat Tommy Fury. And I guess that's quite understandable since Jake has fought tougher opponents than Fury. But also, I feel like people think that Tommy might crack under pressure. And since he's a Fury, the fear of losing to a Disney YouTube star is not a good look, if I'm being honest. However, my personal opinion, I feel like the pressure is on both of them, but in different situations. One way this is bad for both of them, obviously, is due to them both being undefeated, so this fight would impact both their careers essentially. But let's talk about how the loss would affect either Jake or Tommy. Now first, let's talk about Jake. For Jake, it would not look as great because personally I feel like Jake's undefeated record gives him the ability to do the things that he does, obviously, especially with promoting his fights. So losing to Tommy Fury, whilst at least he fought a pro boxer, he'd most probably get exposed, and the hype for Jake would possibly die down eventually. Also, KSI himself claimed that if Jake loses to Tommy, he would fight Tommy instead in December, and claims that he just wants to fight the best.
And if Tommy wins, then I'll be fighting Tommy. As simple as that. But, yeah.
Even though that is a good mindset, but I feel like the hype for Jake versus KSI would be even bigger, so I don't think that's totally true. If KSI fought Tommy, it wouldn't be as big, and it's not really the fight we all want, compared to the Jake fight at least. For Tommy Fury, if he loses, it's gonna obviously look bad on him. Jake Paul would have proven everyone wrong by beating a pro boxer easily, or not, or in a certain faction, I don't know. And Tommy would probably get disowned from his family or something, I don't know. To be honest, it'd probably be the end of his boxing career unless he redeems himself fast by fighting someone else, or he gets the rematch against Jake, which is somewhat likely. So yeah, that's pretty much what will happen if Tommy Fury loses. So what happens if this ends in a draw? If this ends in a draw, obviously they'd rematch each other immediately, but I feel like if negotiations for KSI vs Jake aren't going as planned, in Jake's favor at least, Jake would want to have the rematch with Tommy instead rather than waste his time with KSI. I feel like a draw is likely, but also unlikely. So now that leads me on to who I think would win. In my personal opinion, I feel like Jake would beat Tommy Fury either by late stoppage or either split or unanimous decision. Obviously, we've seen Jake go 8 rounds with Anderson Silva, who I feel could cause Tommy Fury trouble, just from what we've seen at least. However, I feel like Tommy is definitely training harder for this fight, so this fight could get very interesting. Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I'm actually rooting for Jake to win, because even though I'm not the biggest fan of him, I feel like it would be cool that a YouTuber beat a pro boxer, and plus I feel like KSI might actually take the Tommy fight instead of the Jake one, so I mean, yeah. Anyways, that's my prediction for Jake vs Tommy. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below of how this fight might go. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want more videos like prediction videos before fights, leave them in the comments below, as these videos are kind of easier to do rather than doing those long essay videos. And speaking of essay videos, if you guys want to check out the Deji video I did, link is in the description or it'll be in the end card, so yeah, check that out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell, and I am Mega Shadow signing out. Peace.